Hi, Divine Feminines. How are you? I'm going to do a quick reading here. A lot of people have been saying that the energy feels pretty like monotonous, routine, mundane. We've got all the big planets doing something. Wow, I think that's the last one we had. Both water. Wow, triple water. Crazy. And hummingbird. So yeah, bring your ideas to life. Spirit has some things to say, because as soon as I started shuffling the cards and dealing here, I got major burping. Okay. Dolphin Spirit, this matter true. Turtle Spirit, slow and steady wins the race. I feel personally like I'm just running about 7 marathons at the same time. And the more that I worry and like I get into freeze as I do nothing, if I just keep doing the thing in front of me, it gets done. All right, we have Beloved. Get my glasses here. Prepare for your life partner. Romance is returning to your relationship. Believe you are lovable. It's such a beautiful icy blue card. And we have all even numbers here. So I think today, I feel like they're saying this every month, but today is one of the luckiest days of the year. We're coming up to the Gemini new moon. Sanctuary, take time out from the world, spend time alone, meditate, and go on a retreat. Support, ask for help, get more rest, nurture yourself. I don't know why I can never read that word. And then adventures on the bottom. So interesting kind of juxtaposition there of retreat, adventure, and support. And here we have Voyager's Journey, Past Life Healing, Surrender, Dark Night of the Soul, 2-2, False Twin, Intense Change, 5-5, Electric Creative Expression, Increase Your Frequency, Higher Conscious Awareness. So those are quite fascinating cards to come out. It feels like somewhat of a destined energy right now. We haven't had this Dark Night of the Soul card come out. Nine of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. I see a lot of feminine energy in these cards. Ten of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. Both reversed. I feel like he doesn't know how to move on from what happened. Justice and Seven of Cups. Reversed. Oh, that's interesting. Seven of Cups, Ace of Wands. I don't know. Justice is such an interesting card. Kind of have to ask what context it's in. Five of Cups, Four of Swords. 10 of Pentacles, Four of Swords. To me, and as I was pre-shuffling, this deck right here had the Tower flip over because I knocked it. It does feel like, let me get the right word. It's like new ground is being laid. Something is over and something is hopeful to begin. Something has ended. Oh, we got the Tower. These are intense cards, really intense cards. Bottom of the deck, 9 of Cups, Temperance, Queen of Swords. That Mastermind, that Taylor Swift Mastermind song is coming in. Specifically, I laid the groundwork. So I got last week often the dominoes falling in a line. I don't know. I feel like Spirit is being cheeky with me because, to be honest, like my guides in Spirit's like the funniest energy that there is, because they don't have the consequences, right? They understand them, but they make fun of them because to them it's not like it is for us. I will say I think they're highlighting like the humor aspect because I've taken life too seriously lately. Things feel very, look at, I said icy blue, and I feel that color is important for some reason. We got that inner child card. Your inner child is hopeful. Your inner child has a lot of hope right now. To end on this star card is very hopeful. It could be you're putting on a brave face, but I don't think for most of you that's what it is. I actually think there's kind of an acceptance. Reality is the wrong word. It's just like an acceptance of what is. I kind of knew that walking away card would come out again. Just kept wanting to come out the other day too. I don't know. I don't think it's as bad as you think it is, whatever this is. But it feels really major right now. There seems to be a very important lesson unfolding about how we build structures in our mind. So that hummingbird card says be here now. Under it is the badger card. It says be fearless and bold. You have so many strengths about you. And it's coming to this point, or it's come to this point, that you understand those now. Like if you don't understand yet how much you bring to the table, that time is rapidly like passing you by, that you need to really get on board with that energy. Like, yeah, you may not have the actual resources. Oh, we have a pair. I didn't see it. You may not actually have a pair. Oh my God. You may not actually have the resources that you want. Look at it on the bottom of my shuffle. It says stay optimistic about your love life. You may not have the resources you yet want, but they are coming. It seems to be linked to your legacy or your lineage. In that you're the one charged with healing the ancestral line. I know, it's not fair. However, this isn't just a small thing if you think it is. It ripples like through all time and space in a way that you can't really understand yet. Oh, goosebumps. Wow. Okay. God, I'm like on the verge of tears here. And it also makes sense of everything you went through, which I think you are seeing that. Another card of retreat and passion. This card so often comes up This free yourself card, I'll take it into account. Love yourself first. Stay optimistic about your love life. Past life relationship. In reverse. I think, and then the bottom of this deck we have, oh wow. Deep violet, purple, hot pink, and indigo blue. So, plus this deep teal card. Cards of deep knowing and intuition. Very important. But they're saying, yes, your intuition's important. Your intuition is like onboarding more, coming into more. Like these three cards here, she's got her eyes closed. I don't know. They're wanting me to draw from this, and I don't really want to, but we're going to find out why. I was going to do that other deck, but something else. Your intuition's coming on board. What is with the Tower and the 10 of Wands? I feel like most of you have already like had that, oh, solar plexus, ooh. When you have this energy where you see like your parents are just people and it really had nothing to do with you, and you have this spiritual awakening about most people in your life have really never seen you for who you are. World upright, world reversed. 8 of, oh wow. 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands, Hierophant, 3 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands, Strength, Judgment, Ace of Cups, Death, Queen of Pentacles, Hermit, Devil. I don't understand. Okay. There's a big picture here. It has to do with more than just your story. And that's, you know, where the collective comes in. As a collective, when we join together, when our frequency raises, it's extremely impactful. And that can shake the foundations. That can really change. It's like, okay, so I've told this story now a couple times. I don't think on here, but it's like, I was talking about the differences between doing a psychotropic substance. Oh, I hope this doesn't get me in trouble. And then doing like talk therapy from someone who had done both. And I was asking, well, what's the difference in terms of change? And they said one basically like rewires the system inside, and the other, it's like kind of like going to a gym where you strengthen one pathway and it gets stronger over time, but you have to keep doing it every day and you're, you know, often, and you have to keep like remembering to use it more. Like one is like it just changes it from the inside out and you see everything differently almost instantly. And the other's like an outside force that you have to kind of try to adapt and use, and like it kind of always goes against the way that things are naturally wired. And this is this message here that we are changing things. Like, we are basically the internal energy that just changes things from the inside out. And I know both sides. I know that it seems extremely, when I'm doing my own work, right, I don't really have access to the collective like when I channel. I can't really read cards for myself like this. When I do my own work, I feel quite alone at times, and I feel very misunderstood by a lot of people in my life, and I feel like I don't connect with a lot of, especially like family members that are kind of on the outside of what I would call like this circle of trust. Like, they don't understand. There's a lot of judgment from them, and I kind of have to put myself in a bubble of sorts, like a hermit bubble, to do the work. Now, there are people that are close to me that do understand, but still, they're not going on this journey, and they're not doing the level of work that I do at times. Nobody does it all the time, but like, we're human beings, right? We're struggling with all sorts of layers. That's one thing that I constantly, and I actually think that that's what this is right here. Like, the way that people address humans in almost every capacity is this like single layered entity. And I know you guys know, like, it's multidimensionality, but it's so much more than that. Just your energy body has like 7 layers that we know about. And then there's your mental, your emotional, your physical, your spiritual, and there's other things I'm sure we don't even know about them. That all of those layers are interplaying all of the time, right? All of the systems of the body are protecting all of the other systems of the body, working in harmony. Every single cell is working in its collective body. So, you know, that's kind of how I see the twin flame ring, is like one cell connected to all of the other cells. When one soul, because that's my belief, is that you're one soul split into 2 polarity bodies in this experience, and it's only one of you that really needs to do the healing. When you do heal these wounds, you raise everybody up, not just the collective, but we are so, and this is not like a better than anybody thing. That's not what this is. I'm sweating. Okay. This is like, we raise the frequency of the planet. That's why we ground this energy into the earth, right? So I really didn't plan to do a super big reading today, but I think there's a lot here about how you know, this is always this card of like grounding this energy into the earth for me. And it fits so nicely with the world here, that you're, I think, letting go of any kind of misunderstanding you have in 3D from people around you. And I know it's a huge burden when you let go of that. It may seem to you like you did this a long time ago, because that path to authenticity is very subtle in a lot of ways. It's like people talk about a spiritual awakening, and then one day they were this way, and the next day they like left their job and went traveling around the world, and whatever. Most people, that's not how that happens for them. Some people, yes, but it's like very rare. You may indeed leave your job, but you may not. And there seems to have been here a very big burden to live up to certain standards in your reality, quote unquote, 3D, where there was a lot of tradition. But what I see here is that the tradition that you're upholding was just full of pain and misery and constriction in a lot of ways. I think that there's been a very big story perpetuated that somehow following many steps of being a certain way would lead you to this 10 of Cups. You realize, like, we have 10, 10, 10, 10. We're missing the 10 of Pentacles. But it never really has, if this is resonating with you. It's like, yeah, you changed. You were flexible. And this may be a big part of who you are. You may want this traditional stature, status. Like, I'm not saying anarchy is the answer here, but did we? Oh, we did. But there was a lot of cost to this whole thing. There was a lot of holding back your real thoughts, suppressing your inner child, guarding your heart, thinking a lot of the time you and your intuitiveness in any capacity was part of the problem. And they're just saying that's not the case. It's not the case. I really felt like the High Priestess was going to come out of this deck here, because I feel like that's the card that they're kind of wanting me to get at. I guess right now what they're really trying to give here is a perspective between two worlds. You know, literally, there's a lot of praise here for you sticking with yourself, loving yourself, being true to yourself, at least on the inside, or in whatever way that you can. You know, what was this card? Beloved? You know, you are very held in very high spiritual esteem. That being said, we're here in this physical reality where there are consequences, there are endings, and you know, right now for me, they're highlighting the difference between linear and quantum thinking and telling me that that's part of what's going on here. And they're saying they're going to get to the masculine in a minute. Which one? This one? Okay. That we've been under this kind of linear thinking for so long. And, you know, we think in a straight line. It happens like that. Like, but really it's just all things touch all things is quantum. They're saying there's a lot of misunderstanding about all of that, about time, about that will, oops, you don't belong here, that it will come into much more focus. It will come into much more clarity for you. You're not going to have to do so many like mental gymnastics. So much material. I don't understand, Spirit. Why are we focused on that? 9 of Cups, material harvest. It's just a lot of blessing. Fulfillment of wishes. 999. Passion ignited. Patience. Positive movement forward. Discontent and boredom. Disconnect and boredom. Deception, envy, harmony. Look at 6, 9, 6. I was going to forget if it was another 6. Memories of love, heart chakra. Solar plexus, you feel that. Triumphant success. Wow. Bottom of the deck, shadow, awareness, fertility, accelerated motion, stand your ground. I do think it is coming into play with your masculine that there will be something here where you're going to have to stand your ground. And kind of demand, there's somewhat of a demanding energy here with all these queens as you're putting into play a very powerful energy. To the point where I don't even think it's going to take a lot of words. You have Ace of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, Strength, Queen of Wands, and then Queen of Swords reversed. So they're saying, be careful what you say and who you say it to, especially in regard to this situation. Things are happening behind the scenes that are, you actually have Ace of Swords twice. I feel like in your heart and solar plexus, you kind of know that there's something going on, possibly because there's a lot of solitude. And then on this bottom of the deck, you have Ace of Cups with Death. And again, the solar plexus and rest. You may feel quite energetically tired right now. Like there just may be a lot of mundane forces working on you. And I think that's the mundane part of it was one of the first things that I heard when I sat down. It's like the image they're giving me is several, but one of them is the masculine, like having the rug pulled out from under his feet in a really tower moment sort of way. Scorpio, aligned action. There are a lot of action cards here. Some of them are in reverse. Baddie vibes, Virgo. Scared with their family, will say. I'm curious about what you're doing. Law of vibration, love or above. This is you. I don't know why they're putting it on opposite sides today. Whatever. Okay. I looked up twin flames. I still fantasize about us together. Sometimes my heart feels so full. I bought you some flowers and I couldn't do it. Have you forgotten me? Kisses. Pureness, prayer is always heard. Burn candle at both ends. Hurting you more than I ever imagined it would. You see through my mask. I look at your social media. People bring up your name. These things are happening at both sides. Platinum, dreams of you. Did I wait too long? Sage. So it's kind of this mutual understanding, mutual light bulb that you both hurt each other even if you didn't mean to, and you are still, you're understanding that there's something here more, like you can see more of each other than other people can see. And what has caused this is your vibration is like, it's raised. I can just see it. And I think this weird energy here, I'm not sure it's for everybody. It's like, I think part of you are just at that tipping point of like, I want to move beyond this, or even like with the false twin flame thing coming up, I feel like maybe some of you got a message like that it's like, no, this really isn't my twin flame, or this is a false twin flame, or, you know, I really think that's the trick of the mind. Now, I do feel in the collective for the feminine, there's a little finally lessening of the recurring thoughts. They're bringing it up in this context of like your fear energy, your mind is going to tell you it's because you did something to make that happen, because it wants to stay in control. That's not how this happens, but it's also not really important. Sometimes it causes like a little bit of panic to think, well, maybe I was just imagining all of this. Again, not the truth. When you feel in your soul, when you detach from your mind energy and you feel it in your solar plexus and you feel it in your sacral, then you can feel like, oh, it's all still there. It's all still the same, but the mind isn't being engaged as much by the fear energy. So try to disconnect from the linear logical thinking in this context, not altogether. Okay, so let's just get a couple of messages from him. I hope this helped you. I did think it was going to be more about the masculine, but he does seem to be doing some really important work. I'm making a plan to come back to you. I'm sorry for lying to you. I don't feel good enough for you. I want to be with you. I'm not good at communicating my feelings with you. I never felt like this before. I can't stand not talking to you. I miss you. I'm going through a lot. I need you back in my life. Keep a close eye on your social media. Trust me. I think that's one of the biggest things. I want to follow my heart, but my fears keep stopping me. I send you telepathic messages and see signs of you everywhere I go. That trust thing is kind of the next thing I think has to be really addressed. Because again, they're bringing up the fact that things aren't linear. And I kind of knew that card was going to come out. Manifestation. So things aren't linear and you're just going to have to accept that, and things are going to happen that are like quantum a jump, and it's going to feel weird to you. And part of that weirdness is the passage of time. And they're showing me, they're highlighting this card, that you have felt quite alone. There's that light in the darkness, right? That card, so that, and the bottom of that deck, it was authority and control, and then heal with the guy in chains. And I felt like I was supposed to use this deck, and they're like, no, the other deck. And when I shuffled this deck, this card that belongs to that deck was in there. So they had me put it on the top of this. And a lot of it is about that. It's not going to make sense because you felt quite alone for a long time. But, and again, we have this, a lot of cycles here, right? A lot of cycles. It's like there's this energy of speeding up and slowing down at the same time. It's very hard to explain. There's a lot of pressure, but also a lot of knowing that everything's going to just fall, like they're bringing up the dominoes again. And whatever I said in the beginning, I think something about the ground. I don't remember. It's so frustrating sometimes. Okay. Or like the groundwork. Okay. And so, it's so funny because they're showing me, like, they're telling me, why do you always do that? You always try to use your mind to figure it out, and you know you can't use your mind, and you know we're going to give it to you again, but then you panic and think, I can't remember it. It's very funny. It's like, it's a good example, they're saying, for what is going to go on with you, that you are going to be led in a very beautiful way, but it's through knowing in a different part of your body than your mind. And they're saying, like, the masculine is getting clarity around his intuition, right? I brought up all these intuitive cards that came up around why there's so much attraction to you, why there's so much, they're using the word protection, like that bubble around your relationship. It's strange. It's like other relationships get kind of beaten down by the elements, or beaten down by life, or degrade in a way. It's that protective cell, they're saying, that's like protects your integrity. And again, I've talked about this many times over the years. I'm kind of feeling like I should go back on TikTok and do more of the videos I did in the beginning, with the more understanding that I have now. But where, what the heck was I saying? I don't remember. You know, you're just protected in so many ways. And, oh, yeah. Time has no effect on the soul, because, like I was saying in this reading, Spirit's funny because they don't have to deal with time. They don't have to deal with consequences. They don't have to deal with gravity or degrading, right? They don't have to deal with what goes wrong, happenstance, circumstances, none of this. So they're making a really important point here. When we talk to Spirit, Source, and even angels, this is my understanding from my teachers, so take it as you will. None of those have incarnated on Earth now. You know, I believe that we're all Source. So in that way, I'm really leaving Source out, because it's not like an entity you put that name on, it's everything. But like angels have never incarnated on Earth. That's my understanding. You can have a different understanding. Now, Ascended Masters have, right? So they are more adept at dealing with circumstances from a higher perspective. Wow, look at that. That's amazing. Okay, higher learning. I can never say his name. So they're saying, send a Master's card. Holy Amethyst, Divine Alchemy. Move beyond current challenges and focus on what you desire. They do want you to have this, they keep bringing me up to the self. They keep bringing me up. Like it's a higher perspective. The feminine needs to really deal with an enlightened third eye, with a high perspective right now. Yes, divine order, do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. I really feel like that's what one of the main messages here in this reading with their family. An important lesson is unfolding for them. Diana, focus intention. Think about what you desire. Set your sights high. Yes, expect the best possible outcome. And I'm telling you, there's something here disguised as a shadow that you're integrating that will lead you to a greater understanding of yourself. Awakening presence, the universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. You have learned from experience. See, I said that exact phrase. The more inner study is now required to further your progress. What was I gonna do? But now they're like telling you to do shit. Take charge, lead by example, walk your talk. And that is what I'm saying. When I was talking about the authenticity, you may be called, and you may not, to be a more authentic embodiment of your spiritual self right now. Whatever that means to you. I know this is not the meaning of the card, but in a lot of ways, this is what this is showing me. You know, Nine of Cups is often like a drinking card. And look, see, I talked about the Queen of Swords being held back, but here it is. Here it is in the upright, saying what it has to say. Even the red flags there. It's like you may, in many ways, the Nine of Cups is an expression of emotions, right? And I've used this card many times for that treasure chest at the bottom that has all of your gifts in it, right? The things that are most beautiful, you know, and I'm looking over here, and on the bottom of this deck it says, look inside yourself. In many ways, this is about finding what has been there all along. And now I'm getting goosebumps. It's really intense. Oh God. Okay. Like when I hit on something really important, I get this really intense goosebumps in my like chakras. It's so weird. Okay, so the things that they most like tried to suppress in you, and again I use that with a grain of salt because they're saying it really wasn't about you. Your parents, what they did, your caregivers, what they did, society, what it did, it really wasn't about you. So stop making it about you and understand it was about them. And you being the way you are is about bringing these gifts and making you a strong enough person that you can bring them out into your own 3D world and affect the people around you just by being you. Twin flames, your passion ignites. Give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. Imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories that you've made, that you've shared with those you've loved. And they don't want you to downplay how much it actually took to just get you here to where you are. You know, it's such an amazing thing to think about. I have so many cards in here that don't belong here. That, you know, you come from a line unbroken from the beginning of time. And we're gonna get some dragons. Fire and water dragon, golden, silver, violet, flame dragon, my favorite dragon, green dragon, black dragon, Kuan Yin's dragon, and silver lunar dragon. So connects you and your divine potential. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Cocoons you. You're in a cocoon. Cocoons you so that your divine potential grows. Meditate, reflect, undergo a metamorphosis. In some way, there is a bit, I think we've been in it for quite a long time, at least I have, in a protective bubble. And I think that's kind of coming to its close, and it's your masculine's kind of catching up, which is what happens. They may be in that protective bubble now, but like they're just saying, understand how special you are and how beautiful your energy is and how wonderful what you bring, this vibration that you bring, even when people don't understand it yet. It doesn't mean that it's not wonderful and valuable and beautiful. They're highlighting a book on my bookshelf that's called Frequency by Penny Pierce. It's a beautiful book. I've read it, I don't know, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. I still have it. I still refer back to it sometimes. If you are drawn, I'm not sure why they're highlighting it, but if you're drawn to understanding frequencies more, that may help you. She also wrote 2 subsequent books, which I don't think are as good as that one, but she's a very brilliant writer and a very brilliant person. Fire and Water Dragon enables your life to flow with loving force, prepares for change and to move forward quickly, enables, expect the unexpected, have fun. And I will link that, I'll link that book below. I'm gonna try to link my decks in my description box. Okay, transmutes the old around you with wisdom and grace. That's exactly what you're doing. You're transmuting the old around you with wisdom and grace. This is my favorite dragon. It's a card of alchemy, using the violet flame. And I think a lot of you know that I channeled the diamond lilac violet flame, and I've used it quite a bit. You can use any, this is the golden silver violet flame. You can use the violet flame. You can use the diamond violet flame or the lilac flame. You can use any kind you want. If you want to transmute old dense energies, just use that flame. Use this dragon. Use Saint Germain or Lady Portia. And it is time for transmutation magic and healing. Offer service under grace. So you may be called to serve. Your light may be called to serve in a place that's a very dense energy. They want you to not fear that. It's okay. Okay? That's on your path for a reason. You're meant to uplift humanity, and that's why these things happen. I always think about Martha Stewart going into prison, and insider trading happens every day, all day, and she made an enemy. I don't know exactly how it happened, and she went and she did it, and she brought her light there. And I'm not saying she's a saint or a perfect person by any means. She's just a person. But I do think she fulfilled her karmic duty and transmuted whatever she needed to transmute. And we are called to do that at times, especially if you carry, a lot of Aquarius or Piscean placements, a lot of Libra placements. We transmute pretty dense and heavy energies that are very karmic in nature. Now, I'm not a really big karmic person. I really don't think you should get all, I think you should stay present in this reality as much as you possibly can. But you kind of know when things happen without reason. They're non-linear, and they happen in your world, and you can't do anything about them, really. If you try, it doesn't work. It's very interesting. Am I doing this again? Yeah, I am. Okay, Green Dragon helps you to tune into the secrets of nature, receive answers and guidance from nature aligned with your divine essence. I do think nature is very healing for us right now, any of its elements, and that would include sound, you know, all of your senses too. The way that we process the natural world is through our senses, you know, not our sixth sense. That's our intuition and our soul speaking to us. All right, I'm going to end it now. I hope that helped you. Much love to you. Bye for now.